try.
Macca's Guides.
Hey guys, Macca here, and today we're getting one of the most legendary achievements of all time, and that is the Mile High Club in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This is the remastered version. You're going to want to load up the epilogue on veteran difficulty, and a couple of recommendations I would make is that in the graphics tab, I would enable hit markers, and you might also find yourself playing a little better if you up the brightness a little bit more than you would usually play at. Now I'm going to show you the gameplay here at full speed, and then we're going to slow it down and I'm going to show you a different run. Now there's probably a couple of adjustments you're going to need to make if you've previously done this on the 360 when it originally came out, but for the most part, the strategy is very similar. However, we are going to be using the P90 for the majority of the run, although the enemy positions haven't really changed, and for the most part, we're going to be using the same flashbang locations. So as you saw from the beginning of the run, I actually skipped the bathroom enemy, which was something that was impossible to do in the original game. And then I rushed the room and took out everyone I could, and made sure I had a reloaded P90 for the next room, flashbanging it once there's a breach in the hull, and then running up the stairs and going to the right-hand side, whereas a lot of people used to go to the left. I found that you could kill more enemies by coming up this side with the P90 pray and spray. We're going to take out all the enemies in the room and reload. We're going to make sure we get everyone through the wall. And this last hallway we can basically run through, spray and pray, take out our pistol to grab the last few enemies, and make it to the final room. Once you make it to the final room, do not try to be a hero. Don't try to 360 no scope the terrorist here. Just wait for the timer to be at 1 second or less, and he'll expose his head completely. And at that point is when you'll want to take aim and shoot him. After that, you've basically completed it. Just go into the cabin, wait for your teammates to catch up and open the door for you, and then jump on through in order to unlock your trophy or achievement. Now, I'll admit, I killed a lot of enemies through walls and through flashbangs blindly around corners, which is why I'm going to be slowing it down and explaining every little thing I do at this point at half speed. Alright, now from the very beginning you want to sprint forward. Once you reach the pillar on your right, pull out your gun and kill the 2 enemies at the end of the hall, skipping the enemy in the bathroom. He will kill you 1/4 of the time, but hopefully he doesn't. Then throw a flashbang deep into the back hallway and push forward, emptying the rest of your clip into the enemies that are caught. Then pick up the shotgun and clear out the rest of the enemies now coming through the hallway. If you're lucky, you'll have a lot of bullets in all of these guns, and then you'll want to switch to your P90, rush forward and mop up the 2 to 3 enemies that are going to be left in the hall on the left and right sides. Now we're going to push forward with the rest of our clip and kill the 2 enemies that are going to be hidden behind the desk on the left of the room, then tucking ourselves into the corner and reloading. As soon as we're done reloading, we'll want to throw a flashbang down the hall as far as we can without it bouncing back, and then poking out, making sure to check our right corner, and then looking forward for any stunned enemies and any enemies coming down the stairs. Sometimes there will be as many as 3 or 4, but sometimes there will be as little as 2. Then begin your reload, and as soon as you see the ammo inside of your clip, throw your next flashbang to the right hand side once you turn up the stairs. Now push forward and keep spraying into the room, making sure you're getting hit markers, hopefully clearing out almost everyone in the first clip, then tucking yourself behind some chairs in order to get a reload. Now you can push a little bit forward and make sure to spray through the wall in order to get the remainder of the enemies who might be hiding there. Now you should have half your clip and 1 flashbang left, which you'll want to throw into the last hall. As soon as it explodes, sprint forward and spray and pray anyone you need to in order to just walk right through them. Once you reach the end of the hall, pull out your pistol and just keep firing to get the last 2 to 3 enemies in the last area who might challenge you. At that point, if you've done it correctly, just sprint forward and to the very end of the hall. If you're about a split second off, a well-timed jump might allow you to get there just a tiny bit faster. Now all you need to do is wait for the hostage executed timer to reach 1 second so that the terrorist exposes their head, and put 1 nice bullet right in the middle of his dome in order to finish it, at that point just skydive out. Just a couple of really quick notes. I would say that this is significantly easier than it was when this game originally released on the 360 because of some of the movement updates and the aiming updates, as well as the ability to use that P90. It seemed a lot easier than it once was. Also, not every run is going to be the same. Sometimes it's going to be hard to juggle that shotgun or that P90 based on how the enemies die and where they drop, so it might be a little bit difficult to replicate that every time. Some enemies also tend to run in different patterns and have different spawns, so it's a little bit of trial and error as well, and the last hallway does involve a little bit of luck. Last but not least, expect your squad mates to be completely useless, if not detrimental to your success, because they'll often corner you and not let you move once you take cover, so make sure that you bring a lot of patience with you. I would also highly recommend taking a break if you've been going at this for over an hour. I've noticed that I play a lot better when I get back into it than when I just keep grinding and grinding. You tend to make the same mistakes over and over and keep pushing yourself to go too fast, when realistically, you actually have a lot of extra time here to play around with differently every time you do it. And that's it, guys. I've shown you 3 different replays of how to do Mile High Club on Veteran in Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. I've personally completed it 4 times in 3 hours now, and I think it'll be a lot easier for the average Call of Duty player than it once was. Hopefully this video was helpful. Drop a like and share it with a friend if it was. Special shout out to Doc Cupcake for supporting the show on Patreon, and hopefully I see you guys next time. Peace.